Hello, hello. It's Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Welcome to the corporate escape route. I certainly hope that your year is off to a great start. I hope that 2022 is rocking and rolling for you already. That you are taking action, starting to see results, that you're being consistent, that you're showing up for yourself and for your business. So, welcome to the Corporate Escape Route. If you are new here, let me tell you a little bit about what we do. So, I am the founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. We are an accountability practice. We like to call ourselves an elite accountability practice. I have a passion for working with entrepreneurs. And in this particular group, we support part time emerging entrepreneurs, side hustling coaches, and consultants. So if you're just kind of starting out or you're kind of stuck, this is the community for you. We're really passionate about helping, giving you the tools and resources so that you can scale out of your corporate job. We are celebrating our 5th year in business. So last week we hit our 5 year anniversary. And it wasn't so long ago that successfully, I said it as a joke. It turned into something, and I was able to build it in such a way while I was working full time that it eclipsed my corporate salary. And I have been in full time in the business 2.5 years or so, give or take, maybe a little more. And so I know it can be done. And I am happy, ready, willing, and able to share some of the things that I learned along the way when putting things into motion to scale a coaching practice, but actually to say, you know what, I'm done with corporate. I'm done. I'm done. And I want to give a special shout out to my friends who are embracing my new look for 2022, which is all around athletic apparel. I'm really into tracksuits, so I'm rocking a velour tracksuit today with gold chains. I'm giving a whole vibe. This is a vibe, so I hope you like the vibe. So stay tuned for my tracksuits throughout the year because I want to dress like a coach. I mean, like, I guess I can wear like designer clothes, but this is way more comfortable. And so thanks for embracing my look. If you have recommendations on where to get plus size tracksuits, send them my way. Send me a message. I love matchy things. So again, we're just absolutely thrilled to be here. And our theme for the month of January is all around the idea of $1 million mindset. So we want more for you. In 2022, and before you can actually achieve it, you first have to believe it. You have to believe that it's possible. You have to see it, believe it, achieve it, right? And so we really want to give you some thoughts on how to think and act differently when we're trying to up level, right? Like I believe everyone in this group can be a millionaire. There's enough abundance going around, a multimillionaire. There's enough abundance going around that it is out there for you. But there are actions that you have to take to get there, but also there's a shift in your thinking, in your belief system. There's also a shift in your behavior and what you will allow and tolerate when you are trying to up level. And so that's what the month of January is dedicated to, is that shift. So stay tuned. On Wednesday we have a very special guest. Casey Kent is going to be joining us. She is a stress management consultant, and also is a Reiki master, has a master certification in neuro linguistic programming. And so she's going to walk us through the circle of excellence manifestation mindset exercise, which is going to help us get our minds right so we can think like millionaires, so we can already see ourselves doing it. So make sure you join us at 12 p.m. Pacific time on Wednesday, January 12th, for that very special event. So we're going to try to have some more special guests coming up. Mark your calendars. The following week on the 19th, our very own Crystal is going to be doing an exercise on abundance as well. So, again, we're all about the mindset shift, and the actions to shift around that millionaire mindset for January. So, stay tuned for that. Also, if you're new to the group, please raise your hand, let us know, say hello, introduce yourself, make sure you post and tell us who you are and what you're up to and how we can support you. Each one of us in this community has a personal concierge. So if your first name begins with the letters A through M, Crystal is your concierge. Crystal, wave at everybody. If your first name begins with the letters N through Z, Lucille is your concierge. So Lucille, if you could wave at everybody, that would be great. So if you need a strategy session, if there's a particular question that you have for us, if you're looking for resources, if there's something that you're stuck, you got a sticking point in your business, reach out to your personal concierge. We are more than happy to support you. They'll help and assist you in just kind of getting yourself shifted, right? And so I want you to stay tuned. After I'm done going through my 3 points for today, I always got to give it to you in three. I have a special announcement. We're going to start. We have a special announcement this week. We have something special for our new coaches and coaches that are looking to kind of hit that, who haven't quite hit that 10K mark, who are looking to hit those 5-figure months consistently. We have a special announcement for our new and aspiring coaches, or those coaches who haven't quite nailed it in the sense of consistently bringing in 10K on a month-to-month basis, or who haven't hit that threshold of 5 figures just yet. So stay tuned for that. So we're talking about $1 million actions, and again, this comes around that $1 million mindset shift that each one of us has to really take into consideration, right? That uh, again, it starts with the mind. Like, before you take action, right? Before you take that big leap, you first have to believe that it's possible, right? So first we have to believe it's possible, and then secondly, we have to get in alignment with that. So first we have to think it, then we have to align, right? And so when I think about some simple $1 million actions that you can take, wherever you are in your business, wherever you are in your life, these are the things that I really feel like shifted us, right? When we had that major shift in the thinking, doing, and what was showing up on the scoreboard, right? When we've had that major shift on what was showing up on the scoreboard, the first thing when it comes to this $1 million actions, this is going to sound a little counterintuitive, but like, just hear me out. Hear me out. If you send me a message if you feel like I'm wrong, okay? I think it is critical when you're trying to up level. So whether you're trying to take your business to 5 figures, to 6 figures, to 7 figures and beyond, it is so important that you learn how to say no. How to say no. So what are you yelling about now, Keita? What do you mean say no? I'm glad you asked. So you have to say no to what doesn't serve you, right? Saying no to those things that do not align with your goals. So saying no to that family member that's an emotional terrorist that likes to start arguments with you, or doesn't believe that you can do what you say you're going to do, the naysayer, saying no to that. Saying no to clients that aren't a good fit. Just because they want to pay you does not mean that they are the right fit for you, right? So being able to comfortably say, this isn't a right fit, I can refer this to you. I have a referral for you. So saying no to those things that don't make sense, right? Saying no um, to your procrastination, right? Saying no to the way that you self-sabotage, right? Saying no to those patterns that keep showing up in your life, right? Saying no to that. And even saying no um to your own hyperachiever, right? Saying no to that tendency to want to do everything and be everything to everybody. You can say no. So saying no to those toxic relationships, saying no to and saying no to distractions, saying no to scrolling Instagram mindlessly, right? Saying no to watching a Netflix series from start to finish in one evening, right? If you tell me you watch Netflix for 2 hours every night, I can tell you in 10 hours a week you can rule the world, right? Saying no um to the busy work that that distracts you from the things that actually make you money in your business. So saying no to like um sometimes maybe you got to say no to boozy brunch on the weekend because there's work you have to do, right? Maybe you have to say no um to that vacation right now because there's something you got to do. right? So saying no to those things that don't serve us right this second, right? Saying no to those things that are disruptive, saying no to those patterns, right? Saying no. And if it's something you can't do yourself, if you're having trouble saying no yourself, maybe you got to get some extra support around that. Maybe it's time to get a new therapist. Maybe it's time to hire a coach. Maybe it's time to have an accountability circle. So saying no, and putting those boundaries up and making those decisions that align with where you want to go, right? So saying no. So that's $1 million action. And don't wait for it to be a high risk situation. Don't wait for it to be a argument ready to happen before you start implementing this. You can practice saying no in low risk situations. So you can say no if somebody asks you if you want whipped cream on your coffee at the coffee shop. You can say no, or say no to extra sauce. Like you can say no and practice saying no in low risk situations, and then start implementing that no in those higher risk situations, those higher risk scenarios, like saying no to a partner, or saying no to an opportunity that isn't the right fit for you. Right? Don't wait until you have to make that big tough decision to flex your no muscle. And also try shaking up your no's. I really like responding in text message with no thank you, period. Just full on no thank you. It's polite. Or my other favorite is just no without an explanation. You don't owe anybody an explanation on why you need to say no. No can be a form of self love and self care. So, no, it's cool. You can say no. It's no explanation needed, right? The other $1 million action that I want to share with you is the idea of recovery, right? The idea of recovering faster. Okay. So what you'll find with the business owners and the folks that you admire, that you want to emulate, you'll find that their recovery time is a lot faster than a normal person. And so what do I mean by that recovery time? So if they have a setback, rather than wallowing in setback or a challenge or something doesn't work according to plan, they learn from it and they get right back into action. Right? And so that recovery time is much faster, as opposed to, oh, this didn't work. I didn't win that project, so I'm not going to touch anything in my business for 2 months because I'm up in my feelings. Right? So they learn from it. They learn from it and they get back in action. Or they had a client cancel, or a project cancel. They learn from it, they get right back into action. Or like that consultation call didn't go well, or they didn't answer your proposal. You did the proposal, you did this fancy proposal, and then nobody responded to your proposal. It's crickets. Okay, they just get back into it. They don't pick it apart. They don't overanalyze it. They learn from it, and then they get back into action. Now, the flip side of that recovery is also recovering from a win, right? You got to recover from the wins fast too. Because oftentimes, I used to call it the victory lap of procrastination, where like I would have a win and I would be so busy celebrating that win for 2 to 3 weeks that, there were all types of opportunities I missed because I was just so busy and excited about that one thing I did really well. Right? And so the flip side is that victory lap of procrastination, that celebrating too long. You got one win, you won that one project, or you got that new client, and then you take your foot off the gas. Well, I think that it's important to get right back into the routine, whether you win or lose. That recovery time has to be there. So the action you can take is recover. So you have a good day today. Okay, let's do it again tomorrow. Right? You had a bad day. Analyze it. Let's get back into rhythm tomorrow. You had that client say, no, they're not renewing their contract. All right, shake it off. Get back to work tomorrow. right? Or you had that project completely come undone. Learn what you can from it, get right back into it tomorrow. You just won a multi-million dollar contract. That's awesome. Great job. Get right back into it tomorrow. All right. So the recovery time, we have to shorten that recovery time, whether it's recovering from a win or recovering from a loss, or even like recovering from a lack of motivation. Because, about 3 p.m. on Thursday, my motivation it gets a little questionable. So I don't overschedule myself on Friday. I've been going hard in the yard all week. So like building in that recovery time. And sometimes that recovery time is taking intentional time off from your business, right? So that you can bounce back a lot faster. So recovering from the setbacks, recovering from the wins, and just which brings me to my last point. This is a great way to tie it all in a bow, in a velour encrusted bow, darling. Be consistent. That's an action that you control. And that is something that you will see millionaires do time and time again. You see Mark Zuckerberg wearing the same outfit every day. He's consistent. He don't have to think about it. I think I'm gonna keep going with track suits because they got a top and a bottom. I don't know about wearing the same thing every day, but be consistent, right? Consistency will take you further than good ideas. Consistency will take you further than being brilliant, right? Consistency will take you further than any magic that you might possess. Consistency will take you far, right? And so, like, I think that sometimes we get into this mindset that there's so much to do in our business. There's so much you got to do. Oh, you're so busy, you're so busy, so busy, you're so busy, so busy. When the reality is, there are only a few levers that you pull that actually make you money, right? And those are the things you got to be consistent with. We call those money making activities. So we have to be consistent in those and do a little bit every day. It doesn't have to be this push the boulder up the mountain every day, right? It's the consistency of doing those things that result in clients or result in opportunities over and over and over. In the book Good to Great, there is a reference to the concept of the flywheel. And the flywheel is that idea that, again, you're being consistent, you're putting that effort in, and you put it in. It feels like a grind, and I'm going to pre-apologize for that. That's what it's going to feel like. I also want you to know your business is always 90 days ahead of you, so the actions you aren't taking today will show up in March. The actions that you are taking are really going to start popping in March, right? So we know that it's going to be awesome. The stuff that we're doing right now, we're planting seeds that are really going to start popping in the spring. So yeah, you might get some results right this second, but the reality is your business is always 90 days ahead of you. And so that's why this concept of the flywheel is important. So you push. A flywheel is a piece of a motor, right? If you don't know what a flywheel is, a piece of a motor. And so it starts spinning, right? The flywheel, it takes a little bit for it to get going, right? And then once it starts spinning, it kind of takes on a life of its own, and it starts spinning, and then it only takes like little slight pushes to keep it moving, as opposed to this big effort to get it going, right? And so like when you're consistent, you allow the flywheel to work for you, right? You create a flywheel that works for you, and it starts spinning, and it starts taking on a life of its own. It starts taking on a life of its own, and clients start coming in, opportunities start coming in, visibility starts happening if you just keep going, right? If you just keep going, keep doing the things that yield the results. Okay, you find out what works, you keep doing what works, right? And then you might try something a little different, but we don't totally abandon what works, right? So it's a flywheel. And what I find with newer coaches and consultants is that we're not doing enough to start with to get the results, right? Or you get frustrated, you take your foot off the gas, or you get overwhelmed with what's going on in your life and you stop working in your business or on your business, right? And so like we have to allow ourselves the space to even create that flywheel. It's consistency. And if there's anything that I can say about myself and my team is we're consistent and we're disciplined, right? And we've gotten some really great praise from the team the last couple days. So shout out to my team for doing all of creating a flywheel within a flywheel. So I want to celebrate my team for a second. That consistency pays off, right? Even when you can't see it, right? When you can't see it just yet, keep showing up. Stay consistent, right? So if you're looking at um the moguls, right? If you're looking at the business elite, if you're looking at someone that you admire and you want to emulate and you want to build something that they have built, look at their consistency. That's what you can model, their consistency. Because a strategy without consistent action is a good idea, right? And if you can't stay consistent, get support. You know, get some accountability. Put some checks and balances in your life so that you can be consistent, right? That you can have those so that you can have the results, right? Because again, consistency will take you a lot further than your good ideas, right? Consistency will show up in your revenue, right? When if there's a month that's a little wobbly, I can look back and I can tell you exactly where the flywheel broke down, right? And so we want to stay consistent because it is so much easier to maintain momentum to keep that flywheel going than to start and stop. Every time you stop in your business, you are looking at another 90 days to get that jump start going. Right? If your business is always 90 days ahead of you and you completely shut down whether life got in the way, work got in the way, you decided to take a bunch of time off for the holidays, you're going to have to start that flywheel all over again. And it may take you 90 days before you see results, right? And that's just the reality of it. So it is a whole lot easier to be consistent, maintain that momentum than to start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, start and stop, and then wonder why you don't get any results. Why there's nothing in your business bank account, right? Because you took your foot off the gas. You decided to take a 2-week break because it was too much. I would rather you take baby tiny nibbles when you need a break than completely abandon your business. I would rather you take the tiny little bites each day than to do nothing for days on end and think that you're going to pick it up on the weekend or wait until the next holiday break. Just little baby bites. Okay. So if you are feeling like you are struggling with that consistency bit, or you're struggling with putting your plan in motion, like you have a big vision and you're having trouble sticking to the plan, I want to remind you that we are reopening the doors to the Exit Strategy Academy. And this is our flagship group coaching program for coaches and consultants who are fairly new, who may have not quite hit that 10K in revenue, or haven't gotten to those consistent 5-figure months, where either you're new and you're trying to figure it out, or you've been doing it but not with great results just yet. Talk to us, reach out. We have put together a awesome 13-week program to give you that firm foundation, to give you that running start so you can get that money that you can serve and make some money. And we have a all-star cast in terms of 2 touch points with the team every week. So I do a live coaching call on Mondays. We have a where you interact with me. It's not a webinar format. We're actually talking every week. I ask you, did you make any money this week? What did you learn? We share some wisdom with what we've learned in our time being in business. And more importantly, we celebrate as a community. We help you troubleshoot. We have office hours every week with Coach Gigi, who is our all-star coach in residence. And those office hours are designed so you can get support, you can get your questions answered, you can get some insight in terms of your next steps. If you're stuck, you don't have to stay stuck because you can talk to us twice a week and you actually have a conversation with us, right? And we honor the fact that you are you're working, right? Whether that's working full time in your business or you're working a corporate job while scaling a business. Our coaching calls are not until after business hours, right? You have an assigned accountability partner to support you during your time in the program. And right now, we're offering an unlimited coaching call so you can get unlimited one-on-one coaching calls during your time with us, as well as a month of coaching. Now, if you don't make a move in the next few days, the cost of this program is going to go up by $500. So stand by, reach out to your concierge. Again, if your first name begins with the letters A through M, Crystal is your concierge. If your first name begins with letters N through Z, Lucille is your concierge. We're happy to answer any questions that you might have. All right. We're happy to help you strategize your next steps. Because again, the $1 million actions that I want you to remember is you can say no, right? Say no. You can say no to what doesn't serve you. You can say no to family conflict. You can say no to wasting your time watching Netflix. You can say no to that toxic relationship. You can say no to those people who do not believe or support you. And you can say yes to the things that serve you. You can say yes to investing in yourself and your business. You can say yes to your dreams. You can say yes to building a business that you work less, stress less, and make more money than you ever did in corporate, right? I want you to recover faster. So whether you win, if you have a big win this week, I want you to get right back into motion. I don't want you to spend your time celebrating, popping champagne. I want you to get right back into motion the next day. Again, if you have a setback, if you have a bad day, guess what? I want you to get up tomorrow, get right back into motion. I want you to recover fast. I don't want you to wallow. I don't want you to call everybody you know and tell them about your bad day. They don't care. They love you, but they don't care. Get right back into motion. And then finally, I want you to be consistent. Consistency is going to take you further than your good ideas. Consistency is going to take you further than partnering with the right people. You showing up every day, playing full out is going to give you the results you're looking for. And it gives you that opportunity to start that flywheel, right? And you stay consistent, opportunities will come. Your client roster gets full. Your book deal is happening if you stay consistent, all right? So again, I am Keita Williams, and I am the founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. And I want every last person in this community to be a millionaire, right? I want to make millionaires. So we're here to support you. And that first step is getting that first invoice paid, getting out of your own way and getting it done. So if you need support getting out of your own way into action, book a strategy call. You can do that at successbully.com/call or reach out to your concierge. Again, if your first name begins with the letters A through M, Crystal is your concierge. If your first name begins with letters N through Z, Lucille is your concierge. And like I said, I'm Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. We're celebrating 5 years in business, and it has been an empowering and inspiring 5 years. And I couldn't imagine my life without this practice and without the amazing community that we built around it, without our amazing clients, and most importantly, my amazing team who rallies every week and shows up every week, that is consistent, that is helping create a flywheel within a flywheel. And so you all have a great day. Get into action, stay in motion, reach out if you need us. Once again, I'm Keita Williams, founder and chief strategist of Success Bully. Let's get after it.